one of the best advice that I can give anyone going out is just like you have kavua time to learn Torah, exact times that you always learn Torah, you have to have a time that is blocked off for dates. And if you have a goal of going out on a date, doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter. It just, every Wednesday is date night. Then you're going to go out of your way to talk to people and to say yes a lot more often and meet more people. And the more people you meet, it's like networking, okay? People think of Shidduchim as like, it has to be the right thing, or I'm not going to go out. You can network with someone and say, oh my gosh, this was so wrong for each of us, but it was so nice to meet you. Maybe if I have someone for you, I'll think of it. Or, if you have someone for me, let me know. And that's, by the way, how I got my husband, right? I went out with this guy. He was totally not for me. And everything he says, I was like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. And the whole date, that's what it sounded like. I was like, oh, I don't believe in living in Israel. I'm like, well, the guy I'm looking for wants to live in Israel and he wants to do it because it's a mitzvah, right? And then he would say something about his black hat. And I'm like, well, it's really important. It's not about the hat. It's about what's inside. And anytime he said something, I was really genuine about what I was looking for. And so eventually he figured out that he's not for me and he gave me his roommate, which was perfect. But I wouldn't be able to do that if I tried going with papers, if I tried doing it through people, if I tried WhatsApping and just messaging and I don't know what. No, go on real dates with real people and be open to knowing that they're the wrong one. And that's okay. Because wrong people will lead you to the right person. It's like there's a book called Go for No. It's for sales. It's an entire sales system that instead of going for how many yeses I need to get today for the salespeople who are doing call centers or whatever, this guy came up with how many no's are you going to get today? And the goal was to get as many no's as possible. What happened was that if your goal is to get as many no's, you end up getting a lot more yeses because you're okay with no. The rejection doesn't hurt as much because that was your goal to begin with. So if your goal as a young man or woman going out on dates is I'm willing to go out with anyone who's, sounds like she's okay, right? Don't just go out with anyone, but tell people what you're looking for and say, I'm available on Wednesday. I would love if you can make this happen. And by the way, Shadchanim love people like that because the biggest problem, the biggest down that a person making a shidduch will get is if they work so hard to finally get the guy to say yes and the girl to say yes, and then in the end it falls through and they don't even meet. It feels so icky. And if you can tell them from the start, I have a time that I go out every Wednesday and right now I'm available and I have Wednesday coming up and I have to fill that Wednesday. I'm ready to go out. Send me someone. Your openness to finding the right one is going to be so amazing. And then that together with God, praying, asking, guidance, you're going to be listening for the answer. You're actually going to be open to getting the answer because you're opening yourself up. You're becoming attentive.
We would like to encourage our viewers to share these videos with friends and send in your responses. If you would like to obtain Birkon Nusach Eretz Yisrael or invite the rabbi for a speaking engagement, please email us at office@machonshilo.org.